Welcome everybody to a brand new Breakfast with Jeff. I'm going to be doing the show here in a minute. A couple of topics I'm going to talk about. Usually I do a topic per show, but because of the anger and the imminence of this topic, I'm going to be doing two topics for today's debut episode. And I know I haven't done. If you're fairly new to the show, let me explain how it works. Mountain Dew is the official soft drink of my shows. Every time you see me, I'm drinking a Mountain Dew. It's just how I am. So, if you're new to that, that's something to know. Products that I endorse on my show, products that I use, I do not ever endorse something because of money. I don't get money for anything, obviously not. Nobody pays me to push their product. If I don't use it, I don't push it. Sponsors say if we make a video converter, just go to www.freemake.com. There's several products that you can use. The download is awesome. I use that for my videos. It does all kinds of, over 10,000 different websites. Freemake Video Converter can do over 20 hours of shows. So if you happen to have a marathon or something, Freemake will be able to do over 20 hours of shows. So you can do a marathon on one disc. So the Freemake Video Converter, just go to www.freemake.com and choose which program you like to use. Alright, let's talk a little bit about, today we're going to talk about a couple of things. Now, one is George Zimmerman. George, of course, Zimmerman was the guy who shot and killed Trayvon Martin. We'll get into that heated discussion as well. The one that I'm really getting upset about is the Minneapolis, Minnesota type of area. All I hear about is every single time I watch the TV, I'm going to get into about the stadium shit. That, I get tired of stadiums. I'm going to tell you about that as well in the show. So we're going to be getting into that as well. That's going to be a heated discussion as we get into the show today. So I'll just start. I get into it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Minnesota Twins have got Target Field. The Minnesota Vikings now are going to be having their own new stadium, which is, to me, I scratch my head. Okay, the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, yes, granted, the roof collapsed. Okay, I'm going to have to take a break already, believe it or not. I'm having some battery troubles here. So I'm going to take a quick break and we're going to get stuff taken care of. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody, to this brand new edition of Breakfast with Jeff. I apologize. What was happening is I was having some battery issues with my camera. I had to get some new batteries put in. Some of the batteries didn't get a full charge. I usually use rechargeables, but they didn't get a full charge, so that's the reason why I had to take a break. We got brand new batteries in, so we're going to talk. So let's get back into the session. I was talking about the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. The Minnesota Vikings are trying to get a new stadium, which is fine. But just because the Metrodome's roof collapsed, if you don't know, what happened was the snow started piling up on top of the dome, and what happened is it was kind of like a piece of Tupperware, just went sucked right in. So it took them probably about a week to get the roof fixed, which was no big deal. But the Minnesota Vikings are going to get it. Now here's the thing. The kicker, the 2013 season, which starts August 9th, the Vikings take on the Houston Texans in a preseason game. The Vikings will be playing at Gophers Field, which to me, I scratch my brain. You've got this big stadium sitting empty, and you guys are going to go play in a college field. You can't just play the season out in the Metrodome and then go from there. And now they're talking about making a stadium for the St. Paul Saints, which, where does all this money come from? You're going out and building the Vikings a stadium. You're going out, you built the fucking Twins a stadium. Now you're going out and you're building the Saints a stadium. You're just pumping all this money all over the place. I mean, you act like money just grows on trees. And if it's not true, then why do you keep doing this? The Minnesota Vikings don't need a goddamn stadium. They've got the Metrodome. Okay, the roof collapsed. They fixed it within a week. Fine, over with. The Minnesota Vikings just think that they need a stadium. Well, I think what Vikings need to worry about is worry more about winning and less about spending money on stadiums. is this new stadium ain't going to make you play any better. It's going to make you play worse. Is you're going to be playing outside outside. You're going to be dealing with snow and wind. Why in the hell would you want to do that? So I'm not happy at all about that situation. I think it's a crock of shit. You know, sitting here spending millions of dollars on stuff. You know, a team that cannot win. They have not won a game, and, you know, gotten to a Super Bowl in how many years. They have not won a Super Bowl, but they're worried about getting a new stadium. Like, that's going to do anything for them. That's going to make them play much harder, much faster. You know better than that. So, I'm not going to get too heated on that. My theory on the whole Minnesota Vikings thing, I think it's ridiculous. The Vikings don't need a stadium. You know what? They're just wasting money, pushing money for something that they don't need. If the Vikings win and they end up going to the Super Bowl, we know why. Vikings have a new stadium. They got to win a Super Bowl. You got to get to a Super Bowl. Show the team, hey, we can win now. You know, they got Matt Castle. They got this Floyd guy. They got this Xavier Rhodes guy. They got Cordell Peterson. So I don't know. I really don't. It wouldn't surprise me. They got Greg Jennings. So they have Desmond Bishop. They have all kinds of players. So wouldn't surprise me. So I'm not going to get too much into that. My theory on that is I think they're blowing or sucking money dry out of people, you know, for stuff that they don't need. They don't need a minor league team. Does not need a new stadium. I'm sorry. You know what? They're not that great. Sorry about your luck. So that's as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to get out of that. Okay, the next topic we're going to talk about is the George Zimmerman case. George Zimmerman was exonerated for the killing of Trayvon Martin. A lot of people do not like the outcome. But you know, the people are mad about the outcome. And I'm going to say this and they ain't going to like it, but I'm going to be truthful here. The situation is, you can be mad all you want. They don't give a crap. He went to court. The jurors were sucking some dick. Boom. He's not guilty. Isn't it kind of ironic that every single juror is a woman? There's not one man juror on that squad. Maybe there's a little inside information going through there, because I can't see how all these women all of a sudden say he's not guilty. I mean, use your brain cell department. If there's a man in there, maybe he would say, hey, I don't think the guy's guilty. I think the guy did this. But isn't it kind of ironic that all these jurors all of a sudden are coming out talking when it's all women? There's something going on inside, but two people are too stupid to say it. And here's the thing that sucks about everybody else. You can sit and cry and whine, piss and moan about it. The bottom line is the jurors got some inside information. They consider him not guilty. The judge goes, okay, whatever, click. That's the end of it. Look at Wisconsin. Look at what happened. There's another case where this guy was accused of killing his 3 daughters. Well, he got life in prison. He didn't get no not guilty verdict. He got life in prison. Period. No games, no bullshit. You know? They don't sit and say, well, gee, you murdered somebody, so we're going to let you go on vacation. Seems like Indiana and all these other places, Kentucky, they seem to have all these problems. And they just slap them on the wrist and let them go. You know, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, the Trayvon Martin thing, is it right? No. Kid was unarmed and all of a sudden the guy shoots him. You ask this question: what was so horrible that would make a guy to take a gun and actually shoot a kid? You know, there's the guy. Did he beat the shit? Did he kick him in the groin? Did he kick him in the leg? Did he beat him over the head with a baseball bat? What did he do that made him think that killing him was the only way out? But the problem is, the stupid people in the jury, all they do is hear the facts. The first thing you should think about is, what did this kid do that was so horrible that he had no choice than to have to kill him? He had no choice. It's not like he could, if he's bigger than the kid, so obviously he could kick his ass any day of the week. So why would he have to shoot him? And the way I see it, when you say not guilty, you're saying, okay, guess what? Okay, I understand. He had no intent, he had to shoot him. We don't know the situation. We don't know. Maybe maybe he got in a fight with him and he could have pushed him down and said, shut up. But he felt to take the gun out and shoot him. There was a reason for it. But nobody knows that reason. And the 7 little cunts that are sitting on the jury, they're not going to say nothing. Maybe something was going on. Maybe somebody was paid off to say not guilty. And why is there no guys on the jury? That one remains to be seen. So, I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. You know, I think about this stuff, and my opinion on the whole situation is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, I don't know. The thing is, Trayvon Martin, my heart goes out to the kid. I feel that George Zimmerman shot him and killed him. I think he had a choice. He could have dealt with the situation a hell of a lot better. He didn't. He chose not to. He felt that the only way to help him, the only way to solve his problem is to shoot him, kill him. I don't like you, I'm going to kill you. I'm not going to say anything else anymore. Deal with it. Well, I don't think there's ever a solution to shooting somebody and killing somebody. You know, you could have shot the kid in the foot, you could have shot the kid in the leg. Why did you have to shoot him to the point to kill him? I could see shooting him in the leg or shooting him in the arm, get him a little message saying, guess what, don't mess around. But instead he shot him and he killed him. He had intent to kill. But they don't think about that, do they? We're going to have a bonus topic today. Usually I only do one show, but because this is a debut, I will get into another topic. Centennial, Wisconsin, a little boy named Isaiah was playing outside, and I guess what happened was little Isaiah ended up in the trunk of a car and dead. Now, a lot of people have theories saying the 7-year-old threw him in there. You're telling me a 7-year-old picked up a baby, flipped him up, threw him inside there and shut the lid? Really? That takes a lot of energy. That takes a lot of strength to lift a little baby up at that age and throw him in the trunk. And why would you throw him in the trunk? What's the purpose of that? Was there an argument going on? Was something that we don't know about? Once again, they think there's foul play. Well, I don't know why a kid would be thrown in the back trunk. I don't understand it. I think that makes no sense to me. And then say a little 7-year-old is going to pick up a kid and throw him in the trunk and shut the lid and say, oh, I didn't know. Why would a kid be playing in a trunk to begin with? You know, all the people that search for him in the woods, I guess they kind of feel like fools. It's a sad situation, but in a way, it makes no sense. They say no foul play was involved. Well, the kid doesn't magically end up in a trunk of a car. And I really don't think a 7-year-old picked him up and threw him in there. I think something happened. Somebody went up and did something. Maybe somebody had intent to kidnap the kid. Or go get rid of the body or do something. I don't believe that a 7-year-old just picked up the kid, threw him in there and said, oh, there you go. I'm scared. I'm not going to say nothing. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, folks. We got to take a quick break for an overall intermission. We'll take back, and we'll be back. We'll talk some more about these 3 topics: the Isaiah case, Trayvon Martin, and of course the Minnesota Stadium situation. We'll be back for after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's Breakfast with Jeff. All right, thank you, and welcome back. We were talking a little bit about some 3 topics. We're talking about Trayvon Martin. We're also talking about Isaiah, which is a little boy from St. Ontario, Wisconsin. And we're talking about the Minnesota Stadium situation. We'll start with the stadium situation first. Minnesota, for some reason, thinks they have to have stadiums like crazy. First, there was the Minnesota Twins. They couldn't play in the Dome no more. They couldn't take it no more. they had to play a big target field. Most of the time you can't play baseball because it rains, but they need an outdoor field. Number two, the Minnesota Vikings think they need a stadium. They can't win a Super Bowl, they can't get to a Super Bowl, but they need a brand new stadium. Like, that's really going to make them play much harder and better and be better than anything else. The truth of the matter, they don't need it. Third is the Human Age Humphrey Metrodome. Granted, the roof collapsed on it, which you know what you expect. Took less than a week, roof was fixed. So I don't understand why there's such a big dramatization about, oh no, we need a new stadium. We can't play here. We only have a big stadium sitting sucking power like right and left, but that's okay. So that's as far as that goes. The expert George Zimmerman went out and shot and killed a boy who was unarmed. He felt that there was no other alternative than to shoot this kid and kill him. Kill him. I mean, I'm not talking wound him. I'm not talking, to set him down, to show him a message. No. Shoot him and kill him. To end his life. I'm to the point I can't deal with your crap so much, I'm going to shoot and kill you. Take your life away. Bullshit. Then Isaiah. Little Isaiah, a Centurion, Wisconsin kid, who was found in the trunk of a car dead. And I know a little 7-year-old little boy picked up that kid like he was Hulk Hogan, threw him in the back trunk and shut the thing and said, ah, ha, ha. And I suppose he did a little dance around the car and said, ha, ha. No, I think something happened. I think somebody was trying to kidnap the kid. I think the kid was going to be kidnapped. Unfortunately, something happened or something happened or whatever. I don't believe a little 7-year-old just picked up a kid, threw him in there, and said, there you go. That's as far as that goes. Just shooting back to the whole stadium thing is, you're going to have a stadium that's going to sit empty. Now I understand they have monster trucks and motocross and shit like that, but it sits there empty. It sits there with no sports. I mean, at least they had the Twins games, they had the Vikings games, they had year-round of sports going through there. Now they're going to have no sports going through there. They're going to have nothing. That big stage is going to sit there empty, sucking power. You got to understand. You get sitting here trying to push all this money to do these stadiums, but you got a stadium sitting there sucking power, and there's nothing going on in that stadium. There's no baseball. There'll be no football. Of course, they have the Target Center. They can't have basketball there. That would be too easy for them. You know what? To Minnesota, I think you guys are a bunch of idiots. Thank God I don't live in a retarded state like that, because anybody who's dumb enough to keep pushing for stadiums, it's ridiculous. I know Wisconsin is the land of butt fucks and jerk-offs, but I'll have to admit, they don't sit here and think they got to have a brand new stadium because we don't like the one we got. I got to admit, we sit here, our stadium might be 3,000 years old, but at least we don't have to deal with saying, oh, we're going to spend billions of dollars and make a new stadium because we can't handle the one we have. But I will give one credit to Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Brewers did not need a new stadium. Milwaukee County Stadium was fine. It was a nice stadium. But nope, we got to have a better stadium. We can't have the old stadium. There's nothing wrong with it. We just can't have it. Once again, another stadium sits empty and wastes electricity. I don't know what's with you retarded son of a bitches. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. No matter how many times people say, you don't have the money for this shit, but you just keep pumping it out. You guys don't need that shit. I'm tired of the shit. I'm done with the shit. It's retarded. That's all I can say about that. I'm going to get into my final word about these three topics, and then we'll cut this off. Starting off with the first one, the stadium. To Minnesota, I think you guys are a bunch of dumb fucks. You know, you think you got to have a stadium. Every team needs a stadium. The Twins need a stadium. The Saints need a stadium. The Vikings need a stadium. The Gophers need a stadium. The old whore down the street needs a stadium. You know, you're just making excuses up, and it's ridiculous. You're pumping money right and left for something you don't need. The Metrodome, there's nothing wrong with the Metrodome. Okay, the roof collapsed. Less than a week, it was back, and it was ready to go. So get over it. You guys are prissy bitches, and you think you're better than everything else. You're too good to play in that stadium now. So that stadium just sits empty, sucking electricity right and left. And who cares? So Mud Ducks can get fucked. I'm tired of hearing about your fucking stadium. I'm tired of hearing about your fucking Twins. I'm sick of it. Watch TV, there's all kinds of sports going on, and you're worried about the fucking Twins. Get over it. Now, the George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin thing. You know, I think that whole case was all fucked up from the get-go. I mean, you have a all-women jury, you know, which is kind of a little bit smells a little stinky when you got all women in the courtroom. Then you figure this kid, you know, I don't know what this kid did. It was so bad that he had to take his life. But I guess we don't never know, will we? So to me, the protesters can protest. There ain't a damn thing you can do about it. The truth of the matter is, I don't know what this kid did that was so horrible that this guy had no choice than to take his life. Not shoot him, not wound him, kill him. Maybe you got to think that this guy's a criminal, a murderer, considering the fact that he murdered a kid for no reason. No reason whatsoever. So I'm not even dealing with that. Then you got little Isaiah, this interior Wisconsin boy who was missing. Come to find out, they find him in the trunk of a car. And everybody swears it's a little 7-year-old. You really think a 7-year-old picked up a 2-year-old kid, picked him over his head, threw him inside a trunk, shut the door? Do you really think so? I think there's more to this story than we think. I think somebody was trying to kidnap the kid. And the kid died, and guess what? Why didn't drive down the road? Who knows? That's a mystery. But anybody who thinks a 7-year-old little boy is going to pick a kid up and throw him in the trunk of a car, it makes no sense. It makes no sense to me, and I don't think it's right. So that's as far as that goes. So that's the deal. That's the situation with all the topics here. We have a lot more great shows coming up in the next few weeks, few days, whatever. Reasons why we have not done many videos in the last few days is because we've been going through a heat wave, and we're running we're on the air conditioner and 3 fans, so it's extremely loud. So that's the reason why we decided to not do the shows until the weather started cooperating anymore. Updates on Jeff's journals. We have not done a Jeff's journal in a while. And I apologize for that. Like I said, Jeff's journals are usually on location shows. We have not really went anywhere to go on location and do some recordings. Unfortunately for that, there was no more Jeff's journals at that point. Breakfast with Jeff's, we have all kinds of new topics coming up. So you can stay tuned and watch more Breakfast with Jeff's coming up. I'm going to do a plug real quick for some products. Freemake, like I told you, www.freemake.com. Check it out. Pick out a great product that you like to use. 100% free. I always like the video converter. You can do up 20 hours of shows, which is really cool. So that will be my little product for today. But yeah, just I thank for all my viewers, the people that do watch. I appreciate it. I know that I haven't done a video in a while, and I know you say, well, this is supposed to be serious. Why is it only once in a while? It's because of the weather. 95 degrees outside, very hot, gets to be kind of a problem. And number two is also getting set up with topics and stuff like that. It's another big issue as well. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let everybody go. I want to say thank you to all my viewers, and I appreciate everybody that watches the shows with me, or actually watches the shows. That's pretty much about it. Sponsors, Mountain Dew, of course, and all kinds of other great products. I want to say thank you to Sam, who she's like my writer. She does a good job of getting the ideas and stuff. So that's pretty much about it. I will keep you updated with any new information about Jeff's Journals. At this point, we don't have any scheduled shows yet, but stay tuned and just keep looking for new updates. You can go Blogger, you can go Facebook, check it out, clicking on it, and you can check it out and get all that stuff as well. So as far as Breakfast with Jeff, I want to say thank you to everybody. We'll see you next time for Breakfast with Jeff. Until then, everybody, so long.